The law of attraction.
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 We become what we think about most of the time.
You got to change the vibration you're in, and your whole world changes.
You get it when you believe it. You get it when you believe you have it.
If you put your mind to it, anything is possible.
Define what you want and have 100% belief in it.
If you can see it here and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen.
And remember to think. Imagination is everything, and we can become what we can imagine.
Our intention is everything.
The way you think creates reality for yourself.
If you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand.
Now, water is the most receptive of the four elements. This first picture is a picture of water from the Fujiwara Dam. And this picture is the same water after receiving a blessing from a Zen Buddhist monk. And it's really fascinating when you keep in mind that 90% of our bodies are water.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? If thoughts can do that to water, imagine what our thoughts can do to us.
And finally, the strangest secret. What makes a child grow up into the human being he becomes? Well, this is the reason for that, is that he becomes what he thinks about most of the time. It's as simple as that.
You have to understand, you are a magnet. Whatever you are, that's what you draw to you. If you're negative, you're going to draw negativity. You're positive, you draw positive. You're a kind person, more people are kind to you. So you're like a magnet, and you got to understand something about like attracts like. If you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. This is so true. You got to grab this. You got to create dream boards. You got to put the new car up on your mirror. Put the weight you want to be on the refrigerator. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. That's the law of attraction. That's what you bring to you.
Set a goal to become a millionaire. And he said, here's why. For what it will make of you to achieve it. And I got one of the greatest classes in one sentence I've ever received in my life. Set a goal that'll make you stretch that far. For what it will make of you to achieve it. The greatest value in life is not what you get. The greatest value in life is what you become.
We become what we think about most of the time, and that's the strangest secret. This is why thinking is so vital. This is why a goal is so important, because we will become that. I think it's good to remember that if we just go along with the crowd, we won't wind up with much more than the wish that we could do it all over again, and as far as we know, you can't. If we want to amount to anything as individuals, we need individual goals, individual thinking, individual actions.
That day on the subway, what did I say to you? What were my words to you? Maybe it was your time to lose. You didn't think so. Lose! I don't lose! I win! I win! I'm a lawyer! That's my job! That's what I do!
Most people don't affect reality in a consistent, substantial way because they don't believe they can. They write an intention and then they erase it because they think that's silly.
The law of attraction's always working. You attract energy that's in harmony with you. You attract people that are in harmony with you. You see, everything operates on frequencies. There's an infinite number of frequencies, but you and I operate on a frequency just like a radio station does. And the only music you can attract is the music that is tuned into the vibration you're in.
I believe we're creators, and I believe we create with every thought and every word. Every moment is pregnant with the next moment of your life.
I want to tell you the most interesting story in the world. Why a person becomes the person he becomes. Why a little boy or a little girl grows up to be the kind of person he or she becomes. Now, the estimates by the experts in this field are that most of us are using somewhere around 5% of our real potential. Some experts say as little as 1%. We're only experiencing 5% of the fun, 5% of the joy, 5% of the rewards we could be knowing, or less. All the experts are agreed that in each of us, there are deep reservoirs of ability, even genius, that we habitually fail to use. Why? Why isn't everyone successful? The problem with most people is that they're playing the world's most unrewarding game. And the name of the game is follow the follower. Are the people I'm following going where I want to go? Whatever the great majority is doing under any given circumstance. If you do exactly the opposite, you'll probably never make another mistake as long as you live.
The law of attraction is about speaking things into existence. You got to understand that your thoughts are not just these like whimsical things that have no weight and carry no weight in the universe. Your thoughts are things. Your thoughts are like, they hold weight. And there's a big pool of energy in the universe that if you connect, everyone's actually connected to it. You know what I'm saying? We're just the universe experiencing ourselves. But when you really like tune into that ideology that, yo, my thoughts do turn into something. If I believe in it and I put the right energy behind it, you can really make what you want to have happen.
Ask, believe, receive. So many people overlook this very simple quality. You don't have to figure it out. That's what freezes people. When you're trying to figure out your life all the way to the end, when you can't figure it out, it freezes you from trying it, because you go, oh, well, I can't figure that out. Oh, I can't go over there because I don't know how. You don't have to know how. You have to ask, believe, and receive. That's as simple as it gets, folks. It's very, very true. Science says, show me and I'll believe. Faith says, believe and I'll show you.
The only thing about a man that is a man is his mind. Everything else you can find in a pig or a horse.
Let me leave you with some words from Muhammad Ali. Impossible is just a big word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in a world they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it's a dare.
Now, the latest research in neuroscience says you can change your brain just by thinking. So then, as you begin to think about a new possibility, and your brain begins to fire in new sequences and new patterns and new combinations, and you begin to plan your behaviors, and you begin to review in your mind, mentally rehearse who you're going to be in your life. The mere action of mental rehearsal begins to install the neurological circuits in your brain. Now your brain is no longer a record of the past. Now it's in fact a map to the future. And if you were then to begin to emotionally embrace your future before it's made manifest, in other words, you're not waiting for your healing to feel wholeness. You're not waiting for your new relationship to feel love. That's the old model of reality, of cause and effect.
Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Think about every poor decision you've made in your life. Gosh. There was more emotion that was involved in it than there was mind. Every single one of them. Think about it. Really was. Your feelings keep you in bed. Your mind tells you, get up.
Every single one of us affects the reality that we see, even if we try to hide from that and play victim. We all are doing it.
I'd like to share a lesson I learned from it. It was 2008. The Redeem team was formed. And we were in Vegas for the start of training camp, and we were getting ready for the Olympics in Beijing. We're going to head to Beijing. And I wanted to establish myself as a young leader on the team by waking up bright and early, day one. So the goal was to be the first one at breakfast. So I set my alarm. I make sure I'm up by sunrise. I get out of bed. I put on my gear and I head downstairs. But when I get there, Kobe's already there with ice packs on his knees, drenched in sweat. Now, it took me a minute to figure it out, but this guy wasn't only awake before me. He had already worked out. He had just played in the finals days earlier. Meanwhile, I'd been off for months and I was still exhausted. What he had done that morning was incomprehensible to me. That dedication he had only days after falling short of an NBA championship. That taught me something I've never forgotten. Legends aren't defined by their successes. They're defined by how they bounce back from their failures. And that's what I hope to communicate to anyone watching this, especially the kids.
I'm a firm believer of speaking things into existence.
Same here, brother.
I'm a firm believer of, you work and the universe gives back to you. I'm a firm believer in that stuff. For me, in the law of attraction, of course, and God as well. But I'm a firm believer in the law of attraction and the way things come.
You watch me because in some way you can relate to me or you look up to me in some way. Well, guess what? You can go out and get this shit too. I'm trying to tell you, it's not easy. It takes a lot of hard work, dedication, a lot of blessings, a lot of luck. It's lucky. But at the same time, you have people that work years and years and years and years, and it finally will pay off. If you work extremely hard at whatever you got going on, something that you love to do, I swear to God, your life will change. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, your parents might be the hardest people in your life that you gotta convince. So unfortunately, if you're living under the roof and you're still taking their money and you're still eating their food, you gotta listen to them. You gotta either get a 9-to-5 job on the side, you gotta go to college, you gotta listen to them, bro. You gotta respect your parents, you have to. However, once you start getting that leverage to where you can be like, yo, mom, dad, look, off for a little bit. Let me grind at what I got going on right now. This is something special and great. Don't ever let somebody let you down. Don't ever let somebody tell you cannot be something, bro. I'm telling you, bro, you guys are all amazing.
It's the thoughts that you think that control the vibration you're in, and that dictates what you attract. People that are in a poverty consciousness will continue to attract lack and limitation. You got to change the vibration you're in, and your whole world changes.
That's why we try to tell the young niggas, like, just stay focused, you understand? You know what I'm saying? Keep your mind straight on the prize. Don't let nothing get in between. You know what I'm saying? You gotta focus up. Like my boy Fabio said, fully focused. You know what I'm saying?
Fully focused.
You gotta be fully focused. You can't let shit get in between the way you and your goal. You gotta just do it. You gotta just do it.
To instruct people how to teach their body emotionally how that future could feel like before it's made manifest. If they do it properly, their body as the unconscious mind begins to believe it's living in that future reality in the present moment, and they're beginning to signal new genes in new ways that begins to change their body to look like the event has already occurred.
Play to win. Don't play to avoid loss, because the things you fear are the things that's going to happen to you. Set that target on something positive. Work for it. Expect it. The will to win is nothing without the will to prepare to win. See, everybody wants to win, but are you willing to prepare to win?
How do you predict these if things? You can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. So I see these shots, I see these sequences, and I don't shy away from them. A lot of times people believe in certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. If you truly believe in it, if you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction, and it will become reality.
You were born to do something great with your life in big ways and small ways. It may not be on Instagram, it may not get 20 million likes or views, but you were born to do something great. I'm gonna say that to you again. You were born to do something great with your life. You are not average and ordinary. And the third thing is this: there's a power to doing one more. And if you'll do one more, your one decision, one relationship, one meeting, one encounter, one thought, one podcast interview, one book away from a completely different life. You don't lack vision, you lack depth perception. You think you're further than you are, and you keep keeping it in that distance because you think it's so far away. You're one away, one relationship, one meeting, one person, one thought away from changing your life.
That things that I repetitively think about or say, I'm able to manifest.
It's our intention. Our intention is everything. Nothing happens on this planet without it. Not one single thing has ever been accomplished without intention.
I'm a living testament that the world is yours. If you put your mind to it, anything is possible.
Thoughts is powerful in all facets. Because even my career, even my life, things end up turning out exactly how I visualized it. Not in this time frame I expected. You know what I'm saying? You always want shit to happen overnight. But, I just had clear visions. Your thoughts powerful. That shit, come to life if you stick to your script.
Gratitude is a powerful process. The only way to move to the next level is you must show gratitude for where you are. If you show gratitude, it gets you to where you want to be quicker.
Obviously, you knew somewhere inside yourself that you were destined to be famous, because I think it's really a marvelous thing, that visualization thing you did. Do y'all read about this or hear this? That you used to go up on Mulholland Drive and park
every night
and visualize seeing yourself as...
Yeah, I would visualize,
This is when you were broke and poor.
Right, having directors interested in me and people that I respected saying, I like your work or whatever that is. And I would visualize things coming to me that I wanted or whatever.
This was in like 1987, 85,
yeah. And I had nothing at that time, so it was like, but it just made me feel better. It made me, at that time, all it really was for me was kind of making me feel better. I would drive home and think, well, I do have these things. They're out there. I just don't have a hold of them yet, but they're out there. I wrote myself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, and I gave myself 5 years, or 3 years maybe. And I dated it Thanksgiving 1995. And I put it in my wallet and I kept it there, and it deteriorated and stuff. But then just before Thanksgiving 1995, I found out that I was going to make $10 million on, I think it was Dumb and Dumber, maybe.
Dumb and Dumber, yeah. So you visualize yourself, like...
Yeah.
Visualization works if you work hard.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. You can't just visualize and then, go eat a sandwich.
You can see it and believe it. It is a lot easier to achieve it. Nothing happens at first. It's over the process of the time and the effort and the energy that you put into a thing that the energy comes out.
You get it when you believe it. You get it when you believe you have it. And that's the key, is like people still, they sit around going, when's it going to come? 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 And that's the wrong way. You're facing the wrong way. You're facing away from it. You have to go, it's here, it's here, it's here.
So when you're thinking about what you want and you feel good about that, even though you don't have it yet, that's the sweet spot. That's changing your frequency. What most people do is live throughout their life thinking about something they want and feeling frustrated that they don't have it. And that's a frequency of not having it or lack, which keeps it away from you. Or they look at their current situation, whether it's debt or a physical ailment, and they feel frustrated and bad that they have that physical ailment now or debt now, and that makes them feel bad, and so they're vibrating that, creating more of it. So when I say changing frequency or changing vibration, what I'm talking about is thinking about something you want or desire, whatever that may be. And when you think about it, it makes you feel good, even though it's not in your life right now. And when you're in that spot, and that's what I train people how to do, how to get into that, what we call the sweet spot. When you're in that sweet spot, then what you want comes into your life. And sometimes that can happen with hours, days, weeks, or months, but it comes into your life. And before it comes, you're feeling better than ever before anyway. You can have, be, or do whatever you want in your life. You have the power.
What was the biggest lie you were told?
It's not that simple.
Why not?
No, that's the biggest lie I was ever told. It's not that simple. And it's a lie they tell you over and over again. It's how they get you to give up. They say it's not that simple, Vinny.
So what's the truth?
That it is. It is that simple. That it always was.
I'm exactly where I wanted to be because I realized I gotta commit my very being to this thing. I gotta breathe it, I gotta eat it, I gotta sleep it. And until you get there, you'll never be successful in life. But once you get there, I guarantee you, the world is yours. So work hard and you can have whatever it is you want.
A moment of pain is worth a lifetime of glory. Remember that.
You will win. You will win.
You possess a power, an energy, a presence that is capable of anything. And I mean anything. That life that you dream of, the lifestyle, the freedom, the fulfillment, it is all right there waiting for you. But first you must win this battle. The battle between good and evil. By choosing good, you are choosing to be disciplined, loyal, and faith-driven. By choosing evil, you are choosing temptation, instant gratification, and sin. This is the only decision that separates you from everything that you so desire. Which will you choose?
Pain is temporary. It may last for a minute, or an hour, or a day, or even a year. But eventually, it will subside, and something else will take its place. If I quit, however, it will last forever. At the end of pain is success. You're not gonna die because you're feeling a little pain.
I failed. Why do we false? So that we can learn to pick ourselves up.
One time my mom said, you need to get a job. I said, I already have a job. I'm just not getting paid yet. I'm working on my dream. That's my job. If I'm gonna pay attention to my nightmare, I should be able to work on my dream. One of them is gonna take my energy. I would rather give my energy to my dreams than my nightmare.
If you ask for a lot, then it's only fair that you expect to go through a lot. You know, you can't ask for hard things and then expect an easy life. So yes, you know, some days it will be hard. Some days you will be tired. And yes, some days you will question and doubt yourself. But just always remember, you had a vision. And this is what it takes in order to turn it into a reality. So you gotta make that decision for yourself, whether you down for that ride or not. And that is real.
I will get a reward for the pain that I go through. I will not stop in the middle of the process. I will not be defeated. I will not be destroyed. I will take everything that happens in my life and I will allow the pain to push me to greatness. You will not break me. You will not stop me. You will not defeat me. The only way I lose is if I quit. It's going to be a dogfight.
At what point are you gonna wake up and realize you're getting nowhere, bro?
You just not working hard enough, man. That's proof. You're not working hard enough. You're not grinding hard enough.
All the time you're complaining, you could be instead hustling. You could be instead chasing your dream. You could be instead figuring out what you're doing wrong, trying to improve certain aspects of your life, getting your shit together, reading a book, meditating, something.
At the thought of you being in the same place today and being in the same place 4 years now makes you change like there's no tomorrow. Makes you live like tomorrow doesn't even exist.
And don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to try.
Bro, you're not fooling anyone. You're not happy. You're not happy living the way you are. You have no control over your mind. You have no control over your behavior. You're a slave to whatever short-term impulse enters your brain, and you're doing nothing about it. You have not achieved even a fraction of the things that you know that you're capable of achieving. You're not even living a fraction of the life that you could live if you got your shit together. At what point are you going to accept this and actually do something about it? Because you can say you're going to do it tomorrow, you're going to do it on Monday, next week, next month, next year, but the reality is you only get so many of those. You can choose right now to get off the dopamine drip and live a life that you're actually proud to live and become somebody that you're actually proud to be. Or you can keep getting the feel-good chemicals from video games and Netflix and junk food and convince yourself that you're happy, all the while living a pretty forgettable life.
When you're built different than everybody else and you have this desire for more and this desire for achievement and this desire to win, everybody else looks at you like you're like up.
When people don't understand you anymore, you're in that spot of obsession and drive where people are like, what the is wrong with this guy? I don't want to talk to you, man, because you're not going to get it. You will never understand what is wrong with me. And that's why I'm so glad you don't, because I'm in the right spot.
And they'll tell you that too. You know, what's wrong with you? Like, why can't you just relax? Why can't you just do this? Why can't, because I'm just not built that way, man.
If you're ready to quit, then don't get started. If you're ready to quit, don't get started.
The price of progress is pain.
No matter what, go for it. Not for anybody else, but for yourself.
Let the fear of regret fuel you to take action. Today. Now.
And for a diamond to be produced, it must first go through extreme heat. Extreme heat. Extreme pressure. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? For a diamond to be produced, it has to go through extreme pressure, extreme heat. And if that wasn't enough, what makes a diamond is the cut. So you are put through, if you want to be a diamond, you must go through extreme pressure. If you can't take pressure, then you're not a diamond. After you go through all the pressure you thought you could not handle and you think it's over, then they turn on the heat. You say you wanted to be great, son. You say you wanted to travel the world. You say you wanted to help people, inspire people. Then you gotta be a diamond. But listen to me very closely if you've ever studied the diamond. Once it goes through that type of pressure and it finally becomes a diamond, at that point you can't break it no more.
You're not where you want to be. You feel like you're supposed to be somewhere else. Say you could snap your fingers and be wherever you wanted to be. I bet you'd still feel this way, not in the right place. The point is, you can't get so hung up on where you'd rather be that you forget how to make the most of where you are. Take a break from worrying about what you can't control. Live a little.
You're willing to say, I'm not gonna quit. I guarantee you, whatever success you wanna have, you're gonna have it. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.
Pretend there's a documentary crew filming your success story and they're following you around right now. What would you do? What would you do if you knew that there was a crew following you around with cameras documenting your future incredible success and they want to catch you in the act of it all? You would do all the right things you would have to do. Think about that, organize it. But we are saddled down by so many doubts that keeps people from action.
And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. Listen to me. You got to want to be successful so bad that you forget to eat.
You can decide that you're going to stand up to life. You can decide that I'm going to live each day as if it were my last. You have the power to make that decision. You can decide I'm going to work on myself and develop myself. I'm going to empower me. And all of these things that are happening to me right now, they're just temporary inconveniences. They're not stronger than I am. I'm in charge here.
Every single day you're given 24 hours. That's it. The same 24 hours as everyone else. The difference? How you use them. So ask yourself, are you making them count? Most people waste their time waiting for motivation, waiting for the right moment. But here's the truth. That moment will never come. You have to create it. One choice, one step, one action at a time. 1 hour of effort today can change your entire week. 1 week of focus can change your month. Imagine where you'd be in a year if you started right now. The pain of trying, it fades, but the regret of never starting, that stays forever. Be stronger, be better, be fearless.
Everyone wants to win. We all want to be successful. But not everyone wants to wake up early, stay late, and sacrifice. And not everyone wants to keep the faith and hold to the vision until those sacrifices pay off.
That hurt, you know? And I think that flipped this switch in me where I was like, okay, you, watch this.
Let me be very clear. I'll never give up. Never.
I have never met anybody who became incredibly successful in any area of their life until they had suffered and sweated and sacrificed and kept their focus and fought through tears and trials and tests. And if you have a dream and you commit to it, it will come to pass.
It doesn't matter how many times you fall down in this life. It just matters if you're willing to get up again and again and again. And don't stop! Don't ever stop until you win!
Don't cry to give up, cry to keep going. Don't cry to quit. You already in pain. You already hurt. Get a reward from it.